Go for the stars.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the Produce Your Own Life podcast. Life is a script. It's time to write your story. Welcome your host, actor, director, producer, writer, and author of the recently released book, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces, the man who inspires millions through storytelling and interviews, the one, the only, Rodney Damon Collins.
This is the Produce Your Own Life. My name is Rodney Damon Collins. I am the host and creator of this show. This show is produced by JRC Legacy Productions. And today, I'm excited. I have some good friends with me today. That's my guest. And we're going to start right now with the lovely ladies. Go ahead and say your names.
JusTina, Lynn.
It's Jasmine Taylor over here.
What's up, y'all? I'm DJ Ben. Welcome to the show.
You got a little something for us, DJ?
Let's skip it.
Okay, well, one, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this show. I want to thank all the subscribers, everyone who's watched this video. Make sure you like, make sure you share this. As you know, our motto is life is a script. It's time to write yours. And right now, I'm talking with some good friends of mine who are all actors, but as we're building our careers, we do other things also. So we want to encourage other people who are building their acting career that there's a lot of different things you can do while building your career. And we all happen to meet on this one show called Grand Crew. So we took the role, we worked as part of the crew as we were stand-ins for the show. And we're going to talk to y'all a little bit about that as well. But to get going, right now, we're going to start with a little intro about who you are. Give me 30 seconds on what you do. Ben, go ahead. You go first, man.
Hello, everyone. My name is DJ Ben Vera. I'm a Los Angeles native, born and raised. Been a full-time DJ since 2003, and that's also the same year that I started working in the film business on the side. And it's been a wonderful journey for the last 20 years. Really blessed to be here. Shout out to my brother Rodney and the two ladies. This is like my new family right here. So you guys are going to love the show today.
Wow. Ladies, who want to go first?
I'll let JusTina do it.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, JusTina.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm JusTina Lynn, and I create my own content on Instagram. And also, I went to school for journalism, so I do a little bit of freelance journalism, like to report here and there, the news, the good stuff, the bad, all of that. And I'm originally from Georgia, so I got my southern roots still in me. I do acting as full-time, and also I do a little bit of hand modeling. So, yeah, that's fine.
Well, let's see them hands. Are they palm olive clean? Let's see them. They're a little rusty tonight. Okay, she won't show no rusty.
Oh, no.
She ain't gonna show no rusty hands.
You gotta pay for that.
Hands.
Right. No, you don't get it for free. That's what JusTina said, right?
I pay for these hands.
Hey, these hands gonna be seen by who knows who. You never know. Show them hands.
Let me see those hands. Let me see those hands. Let me
Hey.
see those hands.
Ooh.
So you gotta do these boys and these favors over here. You have to keep them hands secret, okay?
Oh my goodness. Now one more.
Okay, yeah, last but not least, Jasmine Taylor over here, Southern born and bred. Been in the acting game for a little less than a year, so still quite new, quite green, but enjoying every bit of it, and clearly really excited just to continue to spread my wings and flourish. Before acting was corporate America, background in fashion, and shout out to all the academics out here. Shout out to University of Miami, Tulane University, Essex Business School in Paris, FIT in New York. Those are all my alumni. So, what's up? What's poppin'?
All right. Oh, you forgot to say hi, mom and dad, too, while you was at it.
Oh, well, they already know what's up. They're first come, first serve. So that's already in the heart. That's already embedded.
Okay, cool. What we do is very important, and like how we all met. One, you guys are each very beautiful people, and I'm glad that I consider you guys part of my village, and friends that I am working to build a career with. So I'm glad to have you in my life. And when you think about how we met doing stand-in work, what can you say to somebody who is building a career as an actor, and they only envision themselves doing acting, like principal work only, what can you say to them to encourage them, to let them know that this is a journey and you have to be willing to take other jobs that are going to position you for future jobs? Anybody want to talk on that?
I'll speak on it. So with any job that you do, you got to start from the bottom up, period. Because even doing background work as an actor, you're learning the fundamentals of what goes into a production. If you can't last, an 8-hour shift at a regular job, how you gonna last a 12-hour, 14-hour shift on set? So you gotta stay on set, be bored out your mind, repeat stuff all the time, and just working from the bottom up is just really important, and making connections too.
Love it. Anybody else want to add to that? Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I can follow up on that. I already said that I'm pretty new to it, right? So, acting wasn't necessarily something that was a goal of mine until recently, So starting from the bottom up was all I knew. So even when I did start off as a background actor, I would see things and, get to know these crazy days, right? As JusTina was saying, it's typical 10, 12-hour days, and that's not necessarily usual. But if you don't experience that, if you don't have that in your back pocket, if you don't know that that's just the way it is, then how are you going to prepare yourself with, lines and lines of dialogue, So I guess just to use her words, but simplify it more, you just have to stay humble, right? Like nothing's going to come easy. You're probably going to get 10,000 no's to every yes. So you just got to be true to yourself and be true to the game.
Right.
I'm right in alignment with everything said so far. One thing, just to step back for a minute, though, is that I don't believe that anyone should tell you that there's any one way to live your life or to pursue your goals and your dreams. And especially in the entertainment industry, anything can happen. So it's just like life, you might have a goal that's right in front of you, but in order to get there, you're going to have to go this way and that way and turn this corner and go get over this obstacle. So there's no one particular path to the top, but I will say that starting at the bottom has its advantages in this, which is that when you're basically quote unquote paying your dues, what's really happening is you're becoming more comfortable with the job, so that when the good opportunities come your way, you have more of the skills and the abilities to knock it out of the park in a more comfortable fashion. By doing background work, stand-in work, and other jobs on set, it'll help with your comfortability, so that when the spotlight is really on you, you won't have all that pressure and confusion that comes with being unfamiliar with the situation.
That's facts. You all could probably list a few people. I've met so many people who would be, they want these lines and stuff like that when the opportunity comes. I've seen some people freeze up who are not comfortable with being in front of the camera. Because once you're on that camera, it's different. It's a whole different game. Everybody's quiet and watching you work. And a lot of people who are not used to that, it definitely shows when they step out to do something. So one thing I definitely learned being a stand-in was just making sure that I hit my mark, because hitting your mark is so important to have you right in front of the camera. The DP is not going to, when I say DP for anybody watching or listening to this, it's director of photography. That's the person who's going to be shooting your scenes, the films. That's who's hired by the production company to film everything that you do on set. You got to make sure that when they give you instructions on hitting that mark, that you hit it, because you're not going to be in frame. If you're not in frame, it don't matter what you do. So that's a very important lesson I learned from being a stand-in. What about anybody else want to share a lesson that you learned?
Yeah. No, I want to add one more thing about this topic of being a stand-in, because I realized something, and I want y'all to realize it too, meaning this was at work on Grand Crew, right? Yeah. So those who are watching who don't realize, Grand Crew was shot on Universal's lot, and Universal is a part of Universal Studios, right? So they would have these bus tours coming through, okay? And sometimes, just to have a breath of air, we would stand outside the stages and these bus tours would pass by. So it's sometimes funny because, we'll point to each other just to make jokes or whatever. Listen, this is real. This is a true story. It was a PA was standing next to me, and I don't even know his name. I really don't. But it was the Asian guy, y'all. If y'all remember him.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He was a camera assistant. But he pointed to me and we were laughing. And he told me something I will never forget. He was like, little do they know. He was like, you've been on camera more times than the principals. I never even thought about that. Have you thought about that? Like,
No, I didn't think about that.
In front of the camera. We are definitely in front of the camera more than the principals. Like, did you even think about that? Like, that didn't even occur to me until he said that.
It never crossed my mind either. That's kind of fresh.
Right. So I just wanted to put that out there so y'all know that, so that you know that, like, literally that was our job, to be in front of that camera so that when the principals do come in, you know, everything is right and ready.
I think there's a saying in the acting profession that there are no small roles. There are only small actors.
Right.
And when you're on a TV set, there's actually 200 employees working together to film this one scene. And so no person is small in that situation. Everyone's got a job to do. And if everyone does the job correctly and to their best abilities, that's actually what makes it so enjoyable to work together.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. Like, just being a stand-in makes you really pay attention to details. Like, you got to walk on a certain line, you got to turn a certain way, and they know, like, especially the DP, you know, they know when you're not paying attention.
No, they're watching.
Really? Yeah.
No, go ahead, finish.
Oh, I was done.
Yeah, hey, so anybody don't know, you know, JusTina is like my little sister, so I pick with her often too. So, but I won't pick with her on the show. We gonna keep it professional. But another thing I saw from being a stand-in, this the first season, not this season that just passed, but there was a director. I'll leave the director nameless, but he's an Emmy-winning director. Not Emmy, but Oscar-winning director, and he was directing an episode. And he was watching me work as far as when they were setting the scenes and how I was completely off book and in just as much character as the person I stood in for. And he basically was like, he told one of the seconds, he was like, watch Rodney. He said, pretty soon he gonna be a principal consistently, you know, on TV. He's gonna be doing principal work regular, because he was like, this guy is already prepared. He's very comfortable in front of the camera. He's doing the scenes as, you know, as we ask him to do. He's following instructions. He's a good actor. So being a stand-in positions you to build your acting skill, because to me, there's no class you can take that puts you on set to watch all this stuff taking place live and in action, watching all that, you know, definitely different than taking a class. I love acting classes, but there's nothing like getting there and you have the sides, you have the call sheet, you know the whole playbook for the day, and you got to be just as prepared as your principal actor.
Here. I mean, it's all about who you know, right? And that's the other thing, is that the people we're working with, they've been in the business for a long time. They're making top pay.
Yes.
If there's anybody that you want to know, it's there. You know, we got to get through security gates and background checks and COVID tests to even get into the room with these people. So I've said it many times when we were together, but like, you got to realize how special these opportunities are when you look at all of the things you could be doing in the world. This one particular job that we have is super, super special, and everybody who does it, I think, really knows that. And so you gotta treat it with respect and give it your best, or else do something else. Because there's a lot of people that would love to fill that bucket as soon as you leave. You know, there's millions. I have someone today from Malaysia who's asking me if they should give up their entire life, move to Hollywood, and try to be an actor. And my reply to him was, people do it every day.
Yeah. Your why just have to be strong enough. You can't worry about anybody else's path. You got to know why you're doing it. I don't worry about anybody else's acting career. I don't let anybody else's story impact me in a negative way, make me say, well, they didn't make it because whatever, so maybe I don't need to do it. No, I'm focused on my path that's in front of me. And I'm going to share some with y'all. While we were setting one of the scenes, this was in November, our DP, I'll leave him nameless, was standing right by me. And one of the crew members was putting the mark down while I was standing. And he said, this is funny, but he said, I could see myself very soon having you set the mark for Rodney as a principal. That's exactly what he said. And I just looked at him and I was like, I said, man, I want to hug you, man. He said, no, I mean it seriously. He said, no, you handle your business. He said, I already know you're a good actor. I've seen your work. He said, but no, I'm serious. That's from the heart. You want to talk about, but that shows that people are constantly watching you. So you take the opportunity you can to get on set, because there's no roadmap. There's no book. There's people write books every day about being an actor, being this. I don't care. That's their story. That definitely doesn't mean my story go look like theirs. All they can tell you is be off book, be gifted as an actor, and know why you're doing it. To me, when people ask me, those are 3 things I tell them. After that, I'm like, I can't tell you nothing else. Surround yourself with a good team and know why you're doing it. That's the only thing I could tell you. You guys have people ask you about that? Why are you acting? 'Cause I know you, Jasmine, what you saying, you recently stepped into acting. Do you know why you're doing it?
Well, I always consider myself to be an artist,
Okay.
like even in the corporate industry, I was in fashion, right? Fashion buying, fashion merchandising. So the artistry was always, the creative industry was always in my blood.
Okay.
And as far as acting goes, it's just a beautiful way of storytelling. It's a beautiful art. You put your voice into it, you put your body into it, you put even the minutia of your facial expressions in it. The craftsmanship goes on and on and on. And I think that's what's really intriguing for me. There's so many ways to tell a character. There's so many ways to tell a part. There's so many ways to tell a story, right? And so that's what really intrigues me. There's so many ways to build. There's so many ways to be a better actor. So I think it just continues to fuel my curiosity and my interest just as a intellectual creative being.
All right. Good answer, Jasmine. JusTina, do you know your why? Do you know why you're doing it?
It's crazy because ever since I was like, I want to say 7 years old, I've been taking acting classes, and I never went as far as in doing like principal work. I just mainly took acting classes because it was fun, and I was following like my older brother. He's an actor too, and I was just following his footsteps. And then I honestly didn't even know much about like background stand-in until I recently got back into it in like 2019. So actually like doing student films and stuff, it doesn't feel like work to me. Like it feels like it's natural, like I'm supposed to be here.
I love it.
Yeah, I've always had my foot into acting, so
I love it. Lynn, would you like to chime in on this, Mr. DJ?
My story's kind of crazy because I
It
don't
matter.
know if you guys.
We
I
all
don't know if you guys did like. We all crazy because we wouldn't be here if we weren't crazy. I don't know if you guys ever used to do like the little plays in school, like all the way from like first grade or whatever. So like all the way back, I don't know what it is, but I would always go to the play and I would audition for like some side role. And every single play that I ever got into, I always ended up in the lead role, and I didn't necessarily want it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was like some sort of thing where I guess they say you're a natural or something, but my first love has always been music. But all throughout my life, the opportunities for acting keep presenting themselves, and I'm one of those people that really believes that like you shouldn't fight reality. And so when I guess you could say when God keeps knocking on your door, you got to answer the call. So I've been really blessed to just, the opportunities have never stopped coming ever since I was a young kid. So just like JusTina said, though, I love it. It's fun. Like every day's different. You're in a different place. You're playing a different role. And the variety of it is something that's special compared to somebody doing a 9 to 5, punching the clock, same desk, same computer, same boss they hate. Like it's not like that. So
no, it's not.
I absolutely love this work, and they say that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And so that's why I kind of don't ever see me stopping. Here's another thing. There's a role for everyone, from a 6-month-old baby to a 66-year-old man. So there's no reason to stop. It's never too late. There's always a role for you in Hollywood and in the film business. So I kind of just see myself doing it forever.
I love it. I wanted to talk a little bit about things that we do outside of our acting. That kind of, whether it's other ways we make money or other hobbies we have. And Ben, what you have in your nice setup up there, I'm going to have you go first.
Cool. So the question was, what do we do outside of our acting careers? And so I actually think this is very important because you could go on probably 50, 100 auditions before you book one job. So everybody who comes to Hollywood with that dream, you better have a backup plan or a side gig or both. So I've been, like I said a second ago, music has been my first love. So I've been producing music and had record deals and been touring since the 90s. And when I worked on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, Steve was kind of influential in the way that I started to build my sustainability as an adult, because I was only like 23 years old when I was working with him. And he got fired from the show one day, and he came straight into the hallway. As soon as they told him he was fired, I was the first person he saw, and he was pissed. And this is what he said to me, and I'll never forget it. He said, "I got 7 paychecks. Do you think I give a damn if I lose one?" And this was like a multi-million-dollar contract. And that stained my brain. And as I studied finances, I found that like the average millionaire has 6 streams of income. So I've built my different streams of income. I'm a radio DJ. I do AV technical work. I work on set. I have an online business where I sell my artwork. There's probably a few other things I'm forgetting at the moment, but
you invest in real estate.
Yeah, I invest. I'm an investor. So, but long story short, always have backup plans. Always diversify your life. Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. So for me, it's still entertainment, mostly what I do. I try to use my skills. The skills that I have in acting and in music are transferable to other jobs. So you can work on the tech side, you could work on the crew side, you could work on the acting side, you could work on the music side. There are interchangeable skills, and that's what I do. So all of the jobs that I do, I love them. They're all fun. And so I just try to live my life that way.
Man, Van, what you just said is one of the main reasons why I tell people to have multiple things going on while you're building your acting career, because that gives you a lot of peace when you do your auditions. There's no desperation in the auditions, because desperation leaves an odor. And I'll tell you what, I've talked to enough casting directors, they can smell desperation, and nobody wants anybody who's desperate for a role. Like what Steve said, I got 7 checks. If I lose one, oh well. It's not the attitude of being dismissive of the opportunities to audition, but it gives you a peace knowing that I've built other ways to sustain myself while I'm working towards my acting career. And to me, I don't think somebody asked me about my acting career. They said, "What's your end game?" I said, "I don't have one. I can do this the rest of my life. As long as God gives me the mind to get the lines, the mind to be able to, be a good actor on stage or whatever, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna stop. Even if I was to have like a corporate job that took me away from being able to be on set as much, I would still find a way to still act because I love it. So that's, I told somebody asked me about acting. I told them it's a calling to me. It's a calling, and that's deep. It's hard to walk away from something that calls you. I started when I was young. I stepped away from it because of family responsibilities. 20 years later, walked back in it. 7 years full time now, and I've seen my career where I've added 40 TV film credits, and I'm very excited. I'm happy, and it's about perseverance. It's about showing up every day. So, and also,
while we're on the subject, sorry. Well, while we're on this subject, I also want to bring up the ego, because there's some people who have this thing in mind that like, I'm only going to take this type of role, or I'm only going to do that. And even the most successful actors and actresses, they do a gig and then it could be 1, 2, 3 years. Sometimes they never get another gig again in life. There's one-hit wonders in the acting industry. So
I can piggyback on that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta put your ego in check and just realize that there's once you're at the top. Let's say you get the top gig in Hollywood. What's next? It's gonna always be a step down if you've already made it to the very top. So there's all different levels, and you gotta be willing to put your ego to the side and work different jobs and do what you gotta do. Because this is a conversation right now about life, not about your dreams. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So first, I have to apologize to the actresses that I do not know their name, but it's the lady from Abbott Kinney / Sister Act. She was having a conversation with Jackie, I don't know her last name, but the girl from, or the woman from Sister. And they were talking about Jackie and egos, and they were saying at the height of their career. So for Jackie, it was during Sister. At the height of her career, I guess she was getting her scripts delivered, via PA. And one of the PAs happened to be Kenya Barrows, or whatever his name is, Barrows. Yeah. And she said she was mean. She said she was mean to this man, treating him any type of way. And no one told her to put her ego in check. And, clearly, 20, 30 years down the line, this man is doing damage in the TV and film industry. And Jackie's like, I shouldn't have treated him like that. On the other hand, from Sister Act and Abbott Elementary, she was saying that she almost had the same thing happen to her. Again, I don't remember what PA she was dealing with specifically, but she said someone told her. She's like, don't do that, because you never know. And sure enough, that relationship that she had with said PA has flourished and helped her career as it is today.
You know what? I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have that video. So we're going to go to the video real quick so you guys can watch that.
Said, be as kind as you can, for as long as you can, to as many people as you can, because the same ass, and she said it, you kick today, you may have to kiss tomorrow. And that has just been so good for me, because how many times has the young person that has brought me coffee turns out to be the producer in the next 5 to 10 years? Oh, I've seen that. Mara Keel brought coffee to me at Moesha. I'm so happy I was nice to her, because she's a big time producer now, does what she wants to do. Well, many of them. But you're right, you got to tamp that ego down and really have somebody good to talk you off the cliff.
Well, I wasn't talked off the cliff. You know who used to bring me my scripts for 227 to my door and deliver them?
Who?
Kenya Barrows.
Are you kidding me?
I wasn't nice to him. See, look at me now.
Oh, my God, Jackie!
I ain't lying. And he reminded me of it. He said, do you remember? And wait, ego, I don't remember. See, that's what you call, but I was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Shirley Ralph talking. And Jack A.
Thank you for that clarification.
Oh. What's up? We're back with the Producer on Life show, and I'm sitting here with some very, very dear friends of mine. I got JusTina, Lynn, I got Jasmine Taylor, I got the one and only Ben Vera, DJ BV, whatever he go by. Is that your name you go by?
Yeah, DJ Ben Vera. Check me out on all social media.
All right, and we are talking about things that we do outside of acting that allows us to gain income, and it keeps us from being desperate. Don't nobody want to be desperate. So go ahead. JusTina. It's JusTina, y'all. JusTina.
So outside of acting, you do have to have a little side hustle. So I do a little delivery driving and stuff. And, I have some crazy stories, but that's for a different day.
Give us one brief crazy one. One brief crazy one. I got to hear.
I was delivering at night, and I think it was somewhere around the valley. And this is before Instacart updated their stuff, because once the customer texts you, you cannot move on to your order of scanning items, because the text message literally pauses everything. So I told her, I was like, nicely, I was like, hey, can you please stop texting me? I'm trying to work, get your order in. And she was just like, oh, okay, thank you so much. She was sending me like kissy faces, sunflowers and roses. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, okay, she's being nice, but she's being too nice. So I'm not going to lie. Like, I had to call customer service and tell them, like, I'm a little creeped out delivering because she's being a little bit too nice. And it was at night too. So, but thank God, like, she didn't come outside or greet me or anything, but I made sure I had to get her off of my delivery list.
She was giving you that single white female feel, like that movie. You're real creepy, like,
sugar upstairs, sugar. You gonna buzz you in sitting in the bathtub?
Right.
I mean,
I don't know if you can come out with a knife or what. Like, oh, I like you so much. Give me a hug.
but you can bring that up here. I remember before I really started, I had to figure it out because what really launched me into acting full time out here was because I got laid off by a job that moved me to LA. So I had to reinvent myself. So during that time, I became an author, podcaster, actor, and producer. As I said, my son and I have our own production company. And then also I was doing Uber driving. Well, Lyft. I didn't do Uber. I just did Lyft. And I did Lyft for 2 years. And I remember one person I picked up. I was pulling up because I used to always drive in the studio area. That was I was like, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna meet people in production. And another thing I did, because I'm a man of faith, is that I would always stop and pull over by a studio production wherever I'm at, and I'll be thanking God for my roles, my principal roles, for these trailers that are gonna be waiting for me. So if I drive past Disney, I pull over and stop at Disney and just stop and pray. So I used to do that type of stuff. But I was pulling up on Warner Brothers to pick up somebody, and the name said Mary. I was like, okay, I'm picking up somebody named Mary. So as I pull up on Warner Brothers to pick up, I see Journey Smollett standing over there. I'm like, oh, there's Journey. I click that I'm there to pick up. Next you know, she walks up and gets in the car. I'm like, what's up, Mary? And she just busted out laughing because she knew I knew who she was. But she was real cool. She got in the car and I didn't bother her. We didn't really talk a whole lot. But the funny thing was, like, you just never know who you're going to meet doing what you do. And I've met some producers with CBS as well. And I always had my headshots. This was before self-tapes got real hot. I always had my headshots in the car. I always had my acting resume in the car. And several producers took them. As a matter of fact, one actually called me for a role. So you just never know how doing those side jobs, what it's going to open the door for. So that's why I was always ready.
That's so true, yeah.
And that is.
Instacart, I need a music producer, but I forget his name, and he was way before my time. So, but it was dope.
It is. It's real cool for that type of stuff. I remember one time, this is when I first started doing background, because I had to, meet people when I first got to LA. I didn't know what else to do, how else to connect with people. And I was working Scandal. And this is when Scandal was still super hot. And Joe Morton, I think this is Morgan or Morton, one who played Daddy, played the father on the show. He played Kerry Washington's father on the show. You know who I'm talking about. But yeah. I remember I was standing, I didn't know I was outside his trailer, but I was doing my usual routine because every time I walk on the set, I stop and say a prayer. So I turn around and he walked up to me, shakes my hand. He's like, young man, I think you're going to be fine. I was like, huh? I know he heard me. I was like, what? So you just never know about how, people are watching you constantly. So, and I got my first show that I worked on as a principal on Amazon without auditioning for, because I met the executive producer doing background in 2017. And
wow.
And the show is called Chosen Kin Origins. It's still on Amazon, still streaming on there. My character is Dr. Watson, but it's a sci-fi show created by a black man named Nico Sparks, and he was doing a whole lot of writing when we were working. So I was like, yo, what you doing? He was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to pitch this show to HBO into Amazon. I was like, what? I was like, dang. So I just kind of chilled with him the whole day and just was, picking his brain. He calls me 6 months later. And he was like, Rodney, you remember the show I was telling you about? I was like, yeah. I was like, what's up? He said, it got picked up. I said, for real? He said, yeah, Amazon wants it. This is before everything started really taking off with the streaming to the next level and stuff. So we were kind of like a short on Amazon. Our series, all our episodes were like less than 10 minutes. But it was just cool to, get that opportunity. He calls me, he said, hey, I wrote a character for you. I was like, really? I was like, what? I said, so you want me to audition? He's like, yeah, if you want to make it harder. He said, I'm trying to give you a role on my show. I was like, man, but that just goes to show you never know who's watching you. And, you got to always show up and be ready. So that was one of my many stories. Look at Jasmine looking all. You look real interested right now, Jasmine.
Listening.
Put the pipe down. No, I'm just playing.
Why you got the shades on, man?
Hey, I'm shining, baby. I'm shining.
It's cool. You know, you was mixing something, man. You want to give us a little something?
On Johnny on the spot?
Yeah, you got.
Must learn. You must learn. You must learn.
Hey.
Nice. He's ready. He's so ready. I appreciate that. He wearing his Copy and Donut shirt.
I am. I'm wearing the full outfit. I got it.
I
Got it just a few days ago in the mail. I'm like, let me represent.
It's
comfortable.
I knew they was gonna take care of you. I knew it. You know, Aaron was like, he was like, he didn't get his stuff. He said, oh, he gonna get his stuff. Aaron.
And this is my first time getting it. For everybody watching the show, like, what are they talking about? So, I've been in the film industry for 2 decades, and I see these people with a jacket that says like Sons of Anarchy season 5, and like just representing this. Like, it's like I always wanted the outfit, and I never had one until this week. I finally got one. So this is when you work on the crew, they give you an outfit that's got like the logos and the name of the show and like what season it is, and it's just something you can't buy. You know what I mean? So like I'm stoked. So I had to wear it for this interview. So I got my season 2 Grand Crew swag on right now. You can't get this anywhere.
Look, he got the sweats too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
feel you, Ben, because I worked season 1 on Grand Crew. That's how I met Rodney, y'all. And I guess I came too late onto the scene because I ain't get no gear.
You didn't get it?
Everybody was like, no.
This is my first time. I've been doing this 20 years.
So I feel you, Ben. I feel you.
Yeah, man. It feels good. Another one off the bucket list.
And sweats. I got the hoodie from last season, the sweats. I'll be wearing it, wearing my full Grand Crew sweatsuit around. Somebody was like, where you get that from? I was like, hey, membership has its privileges.
It's a badge of honor. Like, it's legit, man.
And we earned it. We earned it. Standing in there getting yelled at.
In there. Man, this season, y'all, I'm not going to give away like the episodes and stuff, but I done had a child. I done ran.
Yeah.
Every stand-in.
Yeah, we had to work. We had to do some work.
Some intimate scenes. And that's another thing too. What Rodney really taught me was like really staring into your eyes, and because we have to look at each other, and being a stand-in is very awkward.
Yeah.
Doing the stare down every day. Yeah.
You gotta find a way to look at somebody without looking at them. Not creeping them out.
I can't put my finger on what it was, but that show was like, it was just the best, man. And I don't know what one particular thing, or if it was just a bunch of things together, but I've never worked on a show ever in my life that was like so pleasurable to show up to work every day.
I think it was the main cast too. Like, they're so sweet. Like, they would have conversations with us. Because I've been on some sets where the main actors or actresses, they don't, give you any time of day or whatever.
But yeah, they won't even say hello. And I'm the type of person where I'm nice to everyone, and I can be a little extra too nice, as I found out. So I had to learn to not do too much. But that's because I care so much, and I want people to always feel like they have a spot, that somebody's watching out for them. I think that's important. Yeah,
love you for that, Rodney. That's just who you are, though. I mean, I'm laid back. I'm unbothered. Rodney is on top of everything.
That's why he's moving at high speed, because he's vocal, he's active, he's in your face, and that's part of what's needed. You can't. The more you lay back, the slower it's going to be. To be honest with you.
I feel you. But to each his own. You can't be who you. You can't fake it, right? You gotta be who you are.
Yeah.
To everybody who's watching or either listening this, listening to this podcast understand that this is how we act when we're with each other too. So none of this is fake. We have these conversations all the time. So we're just inviting you guys in on what we would normally do. So you should feel privileged if you're listening to this right now. But we're running out of time, and I always like to have my guests like give a mantra or something that they live by, something that just drives them, or whether it's a story or something in life that gives you more drive to see things happen in your life. If you want me to, I can always go first. I have a mantra that I live by. One is our show's mantra, which is life is a script. It's time to write yours. So I'm a firm believer in not taking a whole lot of time. Like, I clap for everybody who's doing well. I root for people, but I don't spend time admiring their life saying, I wish I had that, because I know I have a path to write. I have a path to walk myself. So I stay focused on that. And then I have another mantra, leave on E. I want to leave this world completely empty of every God-given gift I have. There's a saying about the cemetery. The cemetery is the richest place in the world because it's full of dreams, visions, and things that people wanted to do in this life, but they never had an opportunity or the courage, for whatever reason, to make it happen. And Denzel was talking one time at a school, and when he was giving a speech, he said, you don't want to be lying on your deathbed and you get visited by the ghost of your dreams. And they say, we've came to you throughout your life, but you chose not to bring us to life, and now we all have to go to the grave together. And I was like, man, that's the last thing I want to envision, lying on my deathbed. When I lie on my deathbed, if God gives me the opportunity to do that, I want to be like, man, I did it. I did everything I wanted to do. And I impacted as many lives as I could. So that's how I live. Anybody else want to jump in on that?
I would say mine is do it afraid.
Oh, right. Okay. And why do it afraid?
I do it afraid because there's a lot of things in life that we want to do, and if we overthink it and we're like, oh, what is so and so gonna think about me? Who cares? Do it anyways. If you stutter, whatever, it don't matter. Like, just do it, so you can say that you did it, because you never know what opportunity is going to be right there.
Facts. I like that. Do it afraid. Ben, you've been rubbing your chin for a little bit. Did you come up with something?
I'm thinking like I'm a leader of a lot of people right now. Like I have a lot of people who look to me for leadership and direction, and so I'm always trying to think of very clear, short things to say that are poignant.
Yes.
One thing that's been real relevant the last couple of years is, what are you in it for? I think a lot of people have different motivations, but despite what your motivation is, whatever that motivation is what's going to get you through the down times. Because like I was saying earlier, you're going to have your victories, but what people don't see is all of the struggles between victories. So you got to have a center or a real core reason for why you're pursuing every dream that you have. So a big thing for me is to always remind yourself, what are you in this for? Are your intentions good? Are you going to follow through on your dream, or are you going to give up? Yeah. Another thing I was thinking is, it's sort of like you only live once, you know? So it's like, if I think of this one line by Fife Dog from A Tribe Called Quest, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. But yeah. he had a verse, a line in a verse that said, if I don't say I'm the best, tell me who the hell will. And what that means to me is that, like, you have to believe in yourself before anyone else is going to believe in you. You have to have the conviction and the trust and belief that you can do anything. Yes. Before anyone else is going to see it in you. So it's all internal stuff, but I'm always pushing people to be the best version of themselves. And another thing that I say in my DJ career, which is, my best show is my next show.
Okay, that's perfect. I can piggyback on that then, because I think I ascribe to life in that same way, right? So I'm a very positive person, positive energy, positive emotions, positive vibes. So for me, I think it's very important to be obsessed with the positive, right? Like things are gonna go wrong, things are gonna go astray, but it's almost just like you have to accept that. You have to like let it wash over you. You have to let it happen, and then you have to think about the positive, right? Because the more you're thinking about the positive, the more your good vibes, the more your head is in a great space, the more your intentions are good, the more you're gonna reflect that, and the more it's gonna come to you, right? And so I'm a big believer every day. Like wake up. I know Rodney and JusTina, they're big prayers. I'm a big meditator because I'm just like, you gotta put it out there. You gotta uplift your spirits. You gotta get your energy up. You gotta get your mentality up, because that's what's gonna bring it. That's what's gonna make you shine, and that's what's gonna bring the blessings to you.
That's right.
Hi. Hey, y'all gave me some fuel. Y'all gave me some fuel to run on. I just want to thank everybody for watching, listening to this podcast. Once again, this is the Producer on Life show. My name is Rodney Damon Collins. I am the host, creator, and CEO of JRC Legacy Productions, which this is a production of that. I want to thank my wonderful guests for being on the show today. JusTina, Ben, Jasmine, why don't you let the people know how they can stay in touch with you if they want to follow you, whatever, catch up with all your work. Go ahead, share. What's up?
My Instagram is JusTina Lynn with 3 N's at the end. So y'all can DM me. I open my DMs and stuff.
You read your DMs?
Oh boy.
Hey, don't be saying that. You gonna be opening all these dudes gonna be DMing you.
She said holla holla.
Okay.
All right, on to the next. Not huge on social media, but that's yet to come, So JAZZI.BELLE, Jazzy Bell on Instagram. Hit me up. Holla at me.
Oh, you want to DM you too?
Slide into the DMs.
I'm trying to invite guys to slide in y'all DMs. It's like,
I got a few working on my 6 streams of income. So if you want to check out my radio shows, I've got over 7.5 years of my radio show on our website, which is AOTARadio.com. AOTA Radio, that stands for All of the Above Radio. On your favorite podcast app, you can find it there as well. Just search for All of the Above Radio and click on the boombox. On social media, you can find me at Ben Vera Official. That's BenVera Official. BenVeraOfficial.com is my website. And I'm also the community manager for the DJs worldwide on the live streaming app Bigo Live. So if you guys ever are into the live streaming thing and want to see live DJ showcases, I've got over 250 DJs that I'm working with around the world, and we're all live streaming. So you can find me at bigo.tv/DJ Ben Vera.
Whew. All right. Wow. Well, as we continue on, as we are growing in this wonderful field of entertainment, we will continue to keep you updated with JusTina, with Jasmine, with Ben, with how they're doing in their careers, because I know they're all stars to me. I'm a firm believer of, I once heard Will Smith say that before he got discovered, even when he's young in his rap career, he always said, I'm an A-lister. Hollywood just don't know it yet. And that's what I believe. I've always believed. I have a lot of confidence in myself. And I believe that I set the temperature for whatever room I step into. That I'm the thermostat. I'm not a thermometer. I'm not trying to see what it feels like. I'm coming in and setting. Or that's old school turning. I'm pressing the button now.
Rodney, I want to give you your flowers too, man, because you're a real special person. You really stand out in a crowd as a positive person and as a role model and as somebody who's very dedicated to their work and to their craft. And I just want to really just in this moment say that you are recognized and you're appreciated, and obviously you're blessed. But I'm really looking forward to what you're going to do with the rest of your career, with your family, everything, man. Like, I just want to wish you all the blessings in the world, because the first day I met you, I knew you were a special person. So may all your blessings come true, brother. Thank you for having us, too.
Man, you going to make me go here and cry?
I know you made me cry.
Keep smiling. No, you can always count on me.
And the world's going to see. The world's going to see that I'm right. He's got the glow.
I agree. Yeah.
So good.
And when I first met Rodney, I saw the light of Christ on him.
Yep.
And
I'll be on your side. Forevermore.
Yeah, stick to acting. Sing
Hey, just be ready. Just be ready. Just be ready for
Rodney
that.
Damon, thank you for listening and watching the Produce Your Own Life podcast with Rodney Damon Collins. Be sure to rate, like, subscribe, and share on all podcast and social media platforms. If you have questions or would like to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to us anytime at produceyourownlifetv@gmail.com. Remember, life is a script. It's time to write your story. Until next time, produce your own life.